Hi, welcome to lesson 7, session 3. This is the refined session, and today we'll be showing everything we know about multiplying and dividing by powers of 10. So go ahead and turn to page 141 and 142 in your math workbook page, in your Ready Math workbook page, and we will get going. So we're on page 141. There are only 5 problems today in the refined session. So number 1 says, compare. Complete the place value chart with the products and quotients shown to the right of the chart. Then write a sentence to compare the value of 8/10 times 10 to the second power to the value of 8/10 divided by 10 to the second power. So if I were you, I would start here in the middle. And then to move up, you're going to multiply by 10 to the first power and then 10 to the second power. And then moving down, you're going to divide by 10 to the first power and then divide by 10 to the second power. Number 2, Max says that the product 30 times 10 to the fourth power has exactly 4 zeros. Is he correct? Explain. Really pay attention to what this is asking. If I were you, I would go ahead and solve it first. What is 30 times 10 to the fourth power? And find out if it has exactly 4 zeros. If it does, tell me why. And if it doesn't, tell me why it doesn't. Number 3, how do you determine the value of the unknown exponent in the equation 9,700 divided by 10 to the something power equals 97 hundredths? So how could you move your decimal? Remember, if we're dividing, we move the decimal to the left. How could you tell me where the exponent is? So say the exponent would be, tell me the number, because, and then tell me how you know what this number right here would be. Now, on page 142, this problem is going to take some thinking, so you really need to think about it, okay? It says, Jamie claims that when you multiply a whole number or a decimal by 10 to the second power, the placement of the decimal point in the product is always 2 places to the right of where it was in the factor. Okay, so that's what Jamie thinks. Now, Salome argues that the placement of the decimal point changes 2 places to the right only when you multiply a decimal by 10 to the second power. Salome says that when you multiply a whole number by 2 to the second power, you can put 2 extra zeros after the whole number to find the product. So I want you to do a couple of examples. I want you to do this problem using a number the way that Jamie has said, using a whole or a decimal. He says you always move the decimal 2 places to the right when you solve it. And then show me Salome's example using a whole number and finding the answer, and then a decimal and finding the answer. And then I want you to tell me which student is correct. Is it Jamie or Salome, or are they both correct? And then write your answer in part B. And then finally, for number 5, find the value of 80 divided by 10 to the fourth power. Explain the change in value between 80 and 80 divided by 10 to the fourth power. How many times greater is 80 than the value that you're going to get when you divide 80 by 10 to the fourth power? And with that, that is the video for today. As soon as you're done with your math, you're going to be taking a quiz. And so you'll go and complete your math quiz when you are done. See you soon.